Antoinette Portis' award-winning book, a rabbit uses their imagination to show how a cardboard box can be so much more than just a box. It can be a building on fire or one of many different types of transportation. This book is such a great inspiration for young children's imaginative play. You can easily create your personal, not-a-box story with your very own hand-drawn illustrations. If you have a green screen, you can take your story to a whole other level. Finally, you can even add your own objects that become part of your scene, like these fish swimming past. It's way easier than you think. Let's take a look at how you can make your own amazing imaginative story. I'm in Keynote, and I'm just going to get rid of these part of the template. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag my movie into the slide. Once the movie's in there, I can play it to make sure it works. But the second thing I want to do is I have my picture of my race car. And in this case, I've scanned this. So I'm getting a cleaner image than if I took a picture of it. If I took a picture of it, sometimes you get a different color cast. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to rotate it. I had just opened this in preview. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the markup tools, and I'm going to use the magic wand tool at the top here. And I'm going to click on the picture and just drag down a bit. And you'll notice if I don't drag very far, you get these sort of little artifacts where I've selected, and maybe this is actually where I've drawn and it's picking those things up. I don't want those showing up, so I'm going to drag down. If I drag down too far, it'll select the rest of the vehicle. So I just want to, I don't want that. I want to be able to just have my vehicle there. That's why I've also done that black outline. That will really, really, really help. And so I just let go, and it's selected that part. Now I'm going to press delete. I'm going to delete it, and it's going to convert it into a PNG, Portable Networks Graphic, which means that there's no background here. A JPEG has to have a background. This does not. So I can just save this, File Save or Command S, and now I'm going to drag this on top of my picture. Now I can do it right from here when it's open. The little icon up here, I can drag that on top of my movie in Keynote. And in Keynote, there it is. One of the things I can do is you'll notice that actually at the back there, there's part of the scan had this black line. So I'm just going to edit the mask. When I've selected the picture, I go up to Format and Image and Edit Mask. I also have that over here as a shortcut. But just to show you, just in case you don't, and maybe I'll just do all the edges. It doesn't really matter, just in case there was something on each of the edges, but I think it was only on that back edge. And then I'll press Done, and now you'll notice that black line isn't there. Now, the next thing is that my race car is facing, from towards the right, but I'm in the box, I was facing towards the left. So one of the things I can do is when I've selected the picture, I can go to Arrange, and I'm just going to flip it. So now it's facing the correct direction. Now, how big do I make this race car? I can change the size, which is great. But if I select the movie and I go to this tab, this movie tab, I can actually, I'm not going to trim this. I just want to see where I am here when I'm driving. So maybe, oh, there. You see how I'm driving there? So I want to just maybe drag this to be maybe the size that I'm looking for. Maybe it's going to be something like that. Okay? Maybe I might have it even a little bit lower. There we go. So I've now got my race car. And now I don't want this race car to be there the whole time. I want it to appear. So when is it going to appear? Well, to do that, I need to animate. I need to build this picture in. But when do I do that? Well, let's go back to my movie and let's go back to this trim. Again, I'm not going to trim it. I will reset this. Maybe when I come in here, this isn't a box, this is a race car. So maybe around there. So what I'm going to do is, let's look at this number down here. This is saying, 15 seconds. So maybe I can go to 15.1, 15 seconds, doesn't matter. Let's have this race car Let's have it animate. Go to animate, and it's going to build it in. So it's not going to start here. I'm going to build it in. I will add an effect, maybe the lens flare one. Oh yeah. Oh, maybe I'll change it from right to left. Let's have it sort of go, and let's preview that. And you can change the time if you want, maybe a little bit faster. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go build order, and I can see that my movie is going to start on click. So when I start I don't necessarily want to start on click. Let's just have it start right away. And this picture coming in, I don't want to have to click. I want to make this automatic. So I don't want it to happen after the movie's finished. I'm going to have it happen with the movie, but I'm going to set that delay. What did we say? It was about 15 seconds, 15.1 seconds. So what's going to happen is when it plays, this will play, and after 15.1 seconds, this will appear, and it should appear at the right time. Now I need to go back to my movie, remember? Click on my movie, and back to format up here. I want to reset this to the beginning. Okay? Now, if I haven't already, I didn't trim the end. I'm going to keep the beginning there, but at the end I sort of get out of the box, I think, right? I don't want that in my movie, so I'm just going to have me driving sort of there, and it will end there. But if I change the beginning, if I cut off the beginning, it will affect when my picture comes in, so I have to be careful of that. So this is a quick way to create, that's not a box, that's a race car, or that's a submarine, or that's a boat, whatever it is, a quick way to do that here. Let's look at how to take your "that's not a box" story to the next level. So I'm in iMovie. I'm going to create a new movie. And I have already done my filming. Now in my filming, I have my video of the box, getting into the box, that's the first part. And I also have a video of me in front of a green screen. So you will need a green screen to be able to do this. But let's take a look at this one first. And I'm going to start by just trimming off the parts that I don't want. So I'm going to go Command B, that's blade, and then delete this part. And at the end here, I don't want to see me getting out of the box. I don't even want to see me getting in the box. So I'm just going to drag here before I get in the box. So I'm looking at the box there. And again, Command B for blade, and let's get rid of this end bit. Now, I have my video of the green screen. Now, I'm going to drag it in here first. And when you drag it in, I want it in a different place, but I want to start, let's just start with me standing maybe there. So I'm just going to go, again, Command B, get rid of that part, and me driving. That's good enough, Command B. Now let's get rid of this part. So I've trimmed these both. Now what I need is I want a picture to go in the background where this green screen is. You can see that the green screen, that it didn't quite fill where I was, but I can deal with that. So let's go and grab the picture that I want in the background. Not that one. Let's grab, there we go, that's the picture I'm looking for. I'm actually going to put this in front of that. And with this picture, I don't want it to move. So when I click on it, I'm going to go up to the crop here, and I'm going to select crop to fill, and I can sort of drag the part that I want. That's good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this green screen, select the whole thing, and move it on top of my picture, on top of this picture here. And let's extend this to the length of the whole of my green screen. So the green screen part goes on top, and the picture, you can use a picture, you can use a video in the background if you wanted to. Okay, so now the green screen is on top, and by default, whatever's on top is selected for cutaway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this cutaway to green blue screen. And it's going to put that picture, whatever's underneath, in the background. But you can see I already have a problem. It's only selected that green part, but all this part that's there is not selected. So I can select the cleanup selection. Let's say I clicked off of here. I can go back to this, and I can go back to my green blue screen, make sure clean up, and I'm going to drag these corners of these parts here, these white dots, so I can drag them. Now I got to be careful that it's not where I'm going to be in the green screen. So I think this will work for me. I'm going to drag this. I want that edge there. I might have to move this just a little bit. There we go. And then I can click off of there. Click here somewhere. But I don't know if you notice, but if I zoom in here, I can still see like parts of where those shadows were. So I want to clean that up, the shadows that were on my green screen. So again, I'm going to go here, select that, and I can do a little cleanup. And I'm going to press. You can also play with the softness, but if I select cleanup, I can sort of just erase that part. I click on there. You see it already made it better. I'll show you that again. I'll go edit, undo, and you can see the color in there. If I just click on there, see how that already made it better, so it's cleaned it up. And now I've got my green screen. That's right behind there. It's looking good. So that's the first part, is using iMovie. So the next thing I want to do is I want to export this movie, export this file, and I'm just going to, let's call it race car. And you can see there, it's 39 seconds long. And let's export that. So now that I have created my movie, I'm going to go into Keynote. Just get rid of this, find my movie, and I believe it's over here. There it is, race car. Okay, so my movie has been imported into Keynote, and I'm going to grab my picture as well. Now I've already shown you how to cut this out, but if you forget, just go a little bit further back. So here's my picture. Again, I'm going to flip it, and I want it size-wise. I'm going to go to my movie, find that part where I'm getting into the race car. There we go. I want to be able to see me driving, and that's actually a pretty good size. There we go, I'm driving. That car looks pretty good. So what I need to do is, just a reminder, I need to know when I'm going to get into the race car. So maybe this is the race car. I'm going to get in there. So about 22.2 seconds. So I go to my race car, animate, build in effect. Let's use that lens flare effect again. And same thing, I want to make sure that this just plays right away, and this picture is going to come in with build one. And we said a 22 second, or 22.1, whatever we said, delayed. That will come in. Now don't forget to go back to your movie and format and change that so that it's going to start, because you don't need to trim this movie at all. It's the right timing that you had before. If you really want to take your That's Not a Box movie to the next level, you can do something else in Keynote. So I have a different image here. I have a submarine, and I have a background of water, which I created using iMovie. So now I'm going to go to shape, and I'm going to put some fish in here. So I've got a fish here, you can see that. Let's make it a bit bigger. And let's format that and change the color. I want it to be maybe a gradient fill. Let's have it, I can change this color maybe, and I can change the angle of that color. Maybe it's going to look like that. Maybe this is a little bit darker. There we go. So I have a fish here that's going to swim through the frame. And actually, let's make a few fish. Let's go duplicate, Command D, to give me a few more fish. So I'll use those in a second, but let's start with this one over here. I'm going to start it outside of the frame, and I'm going to go to animate, and I don't want it to build in. That means how it appears. I want it to move. So I'm going to go Action, Add an Effect, Move. There. Well, I don't want it to move just to there. I'm going to have it move across the frame. And as I have it move across the frame, you can see when I put my mouse in the middle of this red line, this dot appears, and every time I go in between and move a dot, a new one can appear, and so I can change these little movements how I want. So maybe the fish is going to swim in this pattern, and I don't want it to be 1 second. Let's make it, I don't know, 7 or 8 seconds. I don't want any acceleration, like ease in, ease out. I want it to just have it the regular speed all the way through like it's swimming. So let's see what that looks like. And you can see the fish is swimming. There we go, that looks great. Now, let's have this fish swim as well, but let's have this fish maybe a little bit smaller. Let's have this fish, let's turn it the other way around. So let's go Arrange. So maybe I'm going to flip it the other way. And let's have it swim this way. Animate, build an effect, move. And you see what happened? It moved it the other way. So let's have it move this way. And again, same thing. I want it to swim across behind here like this. Maybe it's swimming about the same, maybe a little bit faster. But this time, instead of, see how this fish is swimming in front, I don't have to do that. I could have this fish swimming behind my submarine. So if I go bring to front, now my picture of my submarine is in front. And when I go preview this picture, you see how it's swimming behind? This adds some dynamic element to my fish swimming. Now this one, I've got to be careful. I can't have this one sort of swimming inside here with me. Maybe I'll have to have this one swimming in front as well. That way you would see it in front of the submarine. So I'm going to have that move all the way across over here. Now what happens, say I click off of here, and I forgot, I didn't want it to be in a straight line, and I preview it and it goes in a straight line. I don't want that. What I can do, I'm going to take that ease on, ease out off. That is one way that I can now see that line again. Let's have this line here. There we go. It's going to swim in this direction, sort of this path. And again, it's maybe going to be, maybe it's a little bit slower. And the last thing I'm going to do is click on here and go bring to front. So that's going to be in front of the submarine. Now, so one other thing I need to do, I need to go to my build order, and you see these are all separate. You'd have to click on all of these for them to happen. I don't want that to happen. I want this to happen. The submarine is going to appear after the transition. The fish is going to happen with build one. Same thing here. I don't want this to click. So I could do that for each of them, or I could select them all and just drag them on top there and say with previous build. So these will now happen with build one. So if I do a little preview of this effect, let's just see. These are going to now swim through there, and you can see, there we go. So that's taking my animation even to the next level of what you're doing. So have some fun.